Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. We are on the next year. We are 12 years old and we are doing pretty good. We've got everyone up to at least 20 friendship, but we're going to get them up to 30 by the end of this year. We also have to try and cure Shimmer and stop the Pixie beans this year, because even though we did stop the geophonics from getting destroyed, we still want to make sure the Pixie beans don't happen. We need this to be the good timeline, no crazy hormones. But yeah, let's just get started. Let's see what Mars wants to talk about. Oh, and furthermore, your attitude towards your elders in general is entirely disrespectful. You find Uticott delivering a scathing reprimand to Mars, who is doing her level best to look like she'd rather be anywhere else. You speak out of turn, you question the council's decisions. If you disagree with an order, you simply do not do it. I could go on. Do you need me to go on? Mars scowls. No, she replies. Uticott clicks her tongue. I honestly thought better of you, Marzipan, she chastises. You have the sort of natural leadership ability I remember from when I was a girl, many years ago. Mars doesn't roll her eyes, but you get the sense it's a close call. You need to set a better example for the other children, Uticott continues. It's okay to have your own opinions, but you kids can't just do whatever you want. You have to follow the rules and respect your elders. I am setting a good example, Mars retorts, stomping her foot. Hello, the only reason we're here is because a bunch of people knew living on Earth was nonsense and decided to do something different. Uticott looks scandalized, but Mars just continues on. Maybe kids should have more authority. We're the ones with the new ideas that will take us into the future. Mars is right! See, Mars insists. Everyone agrees with me. You might be on Vertumna, but your ancient old brain is stuck back on Earth. She takes a deep breath and for a moment seems much older. Governor Uticott, we need higher walls and more aggressive farmland clearing, and we need it now. Are we here to stay on this planet, or will we just sit around until the jungle swallows us back up? Uticott's mouth opens and closes a few times, then she puts her hand to her forehead. Both of you, get back to your duty, she sighs. Marzipan, we will talk about this later, in private. Well, you're the one who made it the conversation in public, Uticott. Don't get mad when Mars defends herself. Wait, I need to reward Mars. I give you Crystal Cluster. There you go. How we doing? Oh, already 24. We got this. Ah, and we have more people to talk to. Anemone! You and Anemone are playing in the garrison yard with sticks, chasing each other around and pretending to be sword fighting. The adults training nearby are patient with you as long as you don't get near the target dummies, but sometimes you stray too close. Watch out, Annie, one of the security personnel calls out as Anemone bumps into her. You kids stay behind the fences, okay? It's Anemone, she retorts as you both retreat to a safe distance. Anemone throws her stick to the ground and pouts. Just because everyone else shortens their name, it doesn't mean I have to do it. I like being Anemone. But having a nickname is kind of cool and mysterious. Like having a call sign, you know? What would you call me, Abby? Nemi. Nemi tilts her head. Huh. She mimes swinging a sword a few times. Nemi. Nemi. Yeah, Colin calls me that sometimes. At least it's not Annie. Nemi picks up her discarded stick. Now, she says, brandishing it at you, prepare to be defeated by the mighty Nemi. You spend the next hour sparring with Nemi in the yard. Heck yeah. And what about you, Tang? Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. It stings, she says, because it's made of acid snow. Acid snow? Tang nods. Professor Howell says it isn't harmful, and it's an important part of the natural cycle here. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You see them under a microscope. She sticks her tongue out and lets some flakes fall on it. It tastes kind of sour, but sweet, she observes. Fascinating. Tang pulls a sample jar out of her coat. We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete, she says, and places a jar on an outcropping of rocks. The big mushrooms changed in shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder, is there some sort of signal that precedes the changing of seasons? What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season? A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait. You and your brother are so much alike. Tang narrows her eyes. Yes, we used to get that a lot, she says. I guess it's still true, if you think sneaking out of the colony is the same as valid scientific research. She frowns at you. He's so dumb, she mutters, and shoves her hand under her arms. He only cares about feelings, especially his own. All right, then. I'm not going to get in between that right now. Not right now. Let's see, are there any cakes to buy? Aha! I will take that. I probably should get one of these, but you know what? We'll worry about that later. All right, what to do? We might want to start with sneaking out, because there's not really anything we need to do sneaking out-wise. It would help to get some of our bravery and stuff up. And then after that... Oh, and that'll help raise our friendship with Dees, too. Okay, he's at 21. Him and Tang are both at 21. So maybe I should give this to Tang. Yeah, and then we'll give the other one to someone else. Oh, and I'll give the cake to Cal, but oh wait, should I save it? Because we might get stress relief from that. I mean, we're gonna get another cake from Tammy anyway, so I might as well. Cake for you. Yep, okay, so that does give us -5 stress. I'll remember that. He gets the cakes. Oh, his friendship is already almost at 30. Heck yeah. Alright, we'll keep up with everyone. So let's sneak out. See what we can see. I would like to get another sim encounter if we can, but I might not. So I'm going to try and fail some stuff, some more dangerous stuff, and see if he appears. If it's something we've seen already, I will not show it. The muck hides interesting bugs and other treasure for those willing to put their hands in the right holes. Are you? Peek inside the hole. It looks dark. Look closer. You stuck your hand down enough holes to know this. This one's probably safe. You can't hear anything rustling around in there. Put your hand in there. Sweet, literally! The hole is full of sugar bugs. These palm-sized balls of squish exude a sweet syrup when you tickle them. You fill a bottle with it, then let them go again. Should be worth a few kudos to antecede it in the kitchens. Heck yeah. Stick. Oh, Dees! The second sun is beginning to set, and you're planning your route back to the gates when you spot Dees in the distance. He waves you over. Hi, Abby, he says gloomily. He sighs. I wish we didn't have to go home. I wish we could stay here forever. Me too. What if... He begins. What if we didn't go home? Today, I mean. What if we stayed out and camped overnight? He gestures to the pack on his back. I brought a tent, just in case, and a perimeter sensor, and I found a spot near the depot that looks safe. Yes! Camp out! Camp out! Dees sets up the tent while you place the perimeter posts around the edges of the clearing. If anything trips this invisible wall around your campsite, at least you'll know about it. Without even saying goodnight, Dees crawls into the tent, takes off his jacket, stuffs it behind his head, then curls up in a ball facing the wall. He falls asleep almost immediately. You crawl in beside him and put a thermal blanket over yourself. You're exhausted from a long day hiking in the jungle, so despite the excitement of being out in the wild at night, you quickly fall asleep as well. You both wake up to a blaring alarm and bright lights filling the campsite. It's the perimeter alert. Something must have triggered it. Dees sits bolt upright and looks at you with wide eyes. Should you go out there to check? Work up the courage to look outside. I'll be brave. For you, Dees. Let's see. 5, 3, 2, 1. 5, 2, 1, 3, 0. Nice. You both carefully open the door and peek out through a crack. Nothing. Whatever it was, the lights and noise must have scared it off. The sun is almost up, and you are definitely not going back to sleep after that, so the two of you eat soy rations and quietly watch the sun rise over the jungle together. When the surveyors open the gates and start prepping for the day, you pack up your gear and go home. You expect the worst, but nobody even noticed you were gone. You left the privacy curtain on your bed closed, and your parents must have come in late and left early, thinking you were asleep there the whole time. You're lucky, but it also makes you feel a little sad. Yeah, this is what I was talking about last time, where it's like, the poor kids, like, they're very adult in a way. Like, you know, Tang is very smart. A lot of the kids are very smart and sciencey and all of that jazz, but they're also still just kids who want to see their parents. You wake up from your latest recurring dream, a monster crushing the colony gates and stampeding through the square. You try different strategies every night. This time you ran away from it and hid. It worked a lot better than the dreams where you try to fight it. When you woke up, there are tears drying on your face. It felt real enough that, for a moment, you just lie in bed with your eyes closed and try to calm your breathing. You blurrily rub your eyes and... Surprise! Oh, it's your birthday! Your dad leaps up onto your bed and gives you a big cuddle. Happy birthday, little tomato head. 12 years old. Wow, can you believe it? No, your mom answers for you, laughing as she hands you your presents. It was just yesterday and Tessonant was showing me how to change your diaper. Because it's your birthday, your parents have brought in food from the canteen so you can all eat together on your bed. As you stuff your face with savory tofu chunks, you open your presents. Which one is your favorite? I mean, the Australia could get us 10 friendship with someone, and that would be good, but buying the photophoner seems like the best bet for me. A photophoner! This instrument is part flute and part paintbrush and uses a neural link to paint holograms in the air as you play. How did Mars know? What a great gift. You can't wait to practice it in the lounge. Everyone's going to love it. As your dad clears away the wrapping paper and the dishes from breakfast, your mom folds her hands on the table and gives you a serious look. Uh-oh. So, she says, we've been here 2 years now. I know your dad and I have always said you're in charge of your schedule, but we've been keeping an eye on you. A loving eye, your dad interjects, stuffing wrapping paper into the recycling pickup bin. A trusting, gentle eye. Professor Howell tells us you're trying hard in school, your mom continues. That's great. Your dad and I are really proud of you. Working might seem fun and grown up when you're a kid, but if you want to do more than manual labor, you'll need some book smarts too. Your dad joins in again. So, it's time to start thinking about how you're going to contribute to the colony when you get older. At the look on your face, he laughs. Don't worry, we're not going to make you get a job right now. We're just asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I want to be an explorer, but the only thing close to that is monster hunter. Does this raise any of my skills? Maybe I could go with famous idol, get me a little more creativity. A famous idol! Ah, that didn't work. I didn't want to do monster hunter, though, because I don't want to be a monster hunter. I want to explore. Your mom squints. You've been watching those influencer videos again, haven't you? She accuses. Oh, I hate that we scraped those off the HoloNet before we left. You know that they were made up most of the time, right? No one really lived like that by the time we left Earth. Well, your mom starts to get up. I'm sure your friends all want to wish you a happy birthday. She stops and snaps her fingers. Oh, you might not have considered a career as a depot clerk, but Al and Bernie mentioned their daughter is working there, and she needs some help. Now that people can freely order luxuries, it's pretty busy there. Sure beats shoveling dirt, your dad laughs. If you don't take that job, you tell Mars I'll be right there. Your mom rolls her eyes and smiles. I will take that job. Gets us friendship with Mars, at least. And we're doing pretty good with everyone else. 21. Yeah, we need to get everyone else up. Tammy! I think I'm gonna give you the cake. Tammy beams when she sees you like there's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Yabby, she exclaims. She comes in for her annual birthday hug, throwing her arms around you and giving you a great big squeeze. Here, I got you this. She steps back and reaches into one of the many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper box. I made you this, she laughs, revealing a little snack-sized cake. It's only a soy cake, but it's a soy cake made just for you. You take a bite. Okay, it tastes just like a regular soy cake, too. Tammy did what she could with what the colony has. Tammy watches you eat the cake with a look of delighted satisfaction. You can share it if you want, she hints, smiling sweetly. If that would make you happy, share it with Tammy. Tammy laughs. I was just kidding. I made my own silly Billy, she says, pulling out a second box. Let's eat them together. Of course! And here you go. I totally didn't just get this from you. Tammy claps excitedly. Yummy! I'll have to save some for Cal, too, she says. He really, really likes cake. And, well, anything you can eat, really. Yeah, I forget what she likes the flowers, doesn't she? I haven't gotten a hold of any of the flowers yet. All right, let's see. 24, 24, 21, 23. Okay, let's do something with anemone. Plus, this will raise our toughness, physical skill increase. Let's do some, bravery or toughness. Let's do some combat and animals. Most days, self-defense looks a lot like exercise. You run a lot of laps around the colony and work on increasing your strength and flexibility in the gym. When will you get to punch something? Not yet. This isn't even my final form, though. Ain't good enough. $22. Alright, I need to give you stuff. But I don't have any eggs for you, so you're gonna have to be patient. Alright, who else should we raise friendship with? Probably Tammy? I would like more items. Yeah, let's see if there's anything we could do in here with Tammy. We may just... Oh, babysitting! Babysitting! The creche is open all day, every day. Some kids sleep there instead of with the babies who gave birth to them. Babies? Oh, God. I can't speak. The creche is open all day, every day. Some kids sleep here instead of with the people who gave birth to them, especially new babies who need a lot of care and attention. It's easier to do it this way, with caregivers who can focus all their time and attention on the important work of raising the children. Many people in the colony spend at least some time working here in the creche. That is why every adult is your aunt or uncle. You're all one big family. Aww. That is actually cute. You know, despite the cultiness of it, I do like the idea of the communal raising. It's just nice to know that everyone's contributing. It takes a village, after all. Ooh! New perk! Oh, I got the spa! Nice. That'll be helpful. Alright, before we talk to anyone else, let's look around. Ah! Egg! Egg! Egg, 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 egg. I've got an egg for you. Whoa, this egg looks tasty, Nemi exclaims. Wait, I can't eat this, right? Yes, you can. You can eat anything you want, technically. Technically, you can eat anything, but some of it only once. $28, $24, $23, $26, $25, $24. Oh, dare you to eat this worm? Oh yeah, discounters. Well, I double dare you to eat this worm. You can't just turn down a double dare. You're no meek little hop-eye. Slimy, unsatisfying, very, very gross. Deece eats his like a noodle, slurping it up and wrinkling his nose as it wriggles in his mouth. Yuck, he says, swallowing it whole, then shows you his empty mouth. You should have known better than to dare a person who fears nothing. I love you, Deece. Let's work in the depot, or at least see if we can. We may have to talk to Mars first. Yeah, I think we need to talk to Mars first. Mars, let me work in the depot with you. Oh, hey, Yavi, Mars says, breezing past you. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm on my way to work in command. She stops you when you she stops when you don't sound amazed enough. You know, the supply depot, she clarified. It's the most important job in the whole colony. Anything that gets made here goes through me first. Mars's smug smile somehow gets even more smug. Plus, I get the first pick of all the best stuff. Could I work there with you? Well, Mars hems and haws. I suppose it is a lot of work to do alone, and I do like you. We should stick together. Whatever Mars does to pull Administrator Seek's strings works because an hour later you get a message from them on your holopalm. They're dubious that you'll be able to rise to the responsibilities of the role, but that's nothing new. Seek is dubious about everyone and everything, but they agree Mars would be more efficient if she had someone else to keep an eye on her. Thank you, Seek, for your wonderful review of my character. Alright, let's work in the depot. Seek rolls their eyes when they see you report to the depot for your first day as the clerk. Oh, it's you, they deadpan. Well, at least you might learn something useful while you're here. The depot is where the precious nanoprinter lives. Seek lords over it like a tyrant, and they don't like children. They load the depot module onto your holopalm and walk you through the process. People submit requisitions for the nanoprinter through this portal, they explain. It's your job to program the correct routine into the nanoprinter to fulfill their order. Then you mark it as available for pickup or delivery, depending on if we have a delivery person available. Seek grumbles, and we almost never do. With a perfunctory explanation, Seek leaves you to figure out what to do on your own. It's okay for the first hour or so, because no one puts in a requisition at all. It is pretty early. Maybe everyone is still asleep. Clean and organize the depot. There isn't a lot to organize, as you don't store a lot of stuff here, except for the things that people need all the time, like toothpaste. But you find a bucket and start to mop the floors the old-fashioned way, because there's nothing wrong with taking pride in your work. You're jerked back to reality by a haptic pulse through your holopalm. Your first order. You excitedly open the holopalm and read it. Elbow grease, 1 gallon, it reads. From Cal, Geophonics, delivery ASAP. Very funny, Cal. You dismiss the phony requisition. Ha ha, Cal's got jokes. Another one pops up on your holoscreen. Flashlight fluid, 2 gallons, anemone, sports ball, delivery ASAP. Really, Nemi? Another bogus requisition? Are your friends trying to prank you? You've barely dismissed the second one before a third comes in. ID 10 T gas, flammable, 2 cubic meters, pressurized, tangent, engineering, delivery, ASAP, caution! You almost got me, Tang! Tang's really not the pranking type, but you stop yourself from looking up ID 10 T gas. You dismiss the requisition and message your friends to knock it off. Finally, you get a real requisition and get down to work. It's easier than you thought. You're just finishing up when Mars strolls in. She hops up onto the depot counter and primly crosses her legs. I'm so totally relieved to have you as my assistant here, Yabby. Finally, someone to haul boxes and fetch things so I can focus on the important work. Your assistant? I should be in charge. I don't care which one of you is in charge, Seek interrupts, so long as you get the work done. Seek pauses. Wait, did you wash the floors? They say, looking impressed. Well, that does deserve a reward. Here you go. They swipe their holopalm and you feel yours pulse as a couple kudos are deposited into your account. Literally a couple. Mars can hardly wait until Seek is gone to giggle. Either way, I'm glad you're here. This job is usually so boring. Happy to help. Tell them to stop pranking me. It's not funny. It's not funny. Whoop. Oh, uh-oh. Your dad comes back from work one day looking seriously under the weather. He's pale with deep circles under his eyes and he keeps sneezing. It's fine, he insists. It's just all this pollen in the air. It's gunking up the old air tubes. Do you remember hay fever, Flulu? We always got it back on Earth, too. Your mom frowns and crosses her arms. We did, she agrees. So why isn't it bothering me? You're a lot tougher than me, Sweet Pea, your dad says, and your mom rolls her eyes. I'm sure I just have to get used to it, like you did, he continues. Maybe I'll go for a stroll outside the gates later, really get a good old lungful of the stuff. I'll feel bad for a few weeks, but after that I'll be fine. No, you won't! Your mom raises both eyebrows. Outside the gates? You? Your dad shrugs, and then he falls into a fit of sneezing and can't answer. Your mom directs him to go lie down on their bed. You need rest, not machismo, she scolds him. I don't have your dad sneezes. A bacho boated my body, Fufu, and I have to fertilize the corn and pixie beans this week. Uh-huh, your mom grunts. Your dad pulls out a handkerchief from his pocket and sneezes into it a few times. Big, yelling honk sneezes that echo through your whole quarters. He pulls it away from his face, and you can tell that something's wrong. Huh, your dad says weakly, holding the handkerchief away from its face. It's bright fuchsia pink and glittering in the light. That's weird. Then his eyes roll back in his head, his knees buckle, and your mom yells at you to call Instance. Chief Engineer Instance takes your dad's vitals and gives him a cursory look over, but she seems satisfied with what she sees without having to do a thorough examination. The explorers have started calling this the Shimmer, she says, shining a light down your dad's throat. He's looking a little better, but not much. It's an airborne environmental toxin, likely in the pollen fog. This is way more dangerous than you think! You've dreamed about this! It's super duper dangerous! Your dad just gets more and more sick every year. He could die if he's not careful. There's no need to panic, Instance says dismissively. Your dad is in excellent health, otherwise. Ah, right, you're only 12. You remember being older when he... The adults are so stubborn. They're not going to listen to you, and even if they did, the Shimmer is still out there. You can't keep your dad inside forever. You're going to have to find a cure. You've done it once before. You can do it again. Time to go see Tang in Instance in engineering. Even after one day of bed rest, your dad is looking a lot better. He's clearly anxious to get back out into the fields. You're gonna love this new crop, Yabby. It's called a pixie bean. They glow in the dark. He's already pulling on his boots. The fields look beautiful at night. I'm happy we can finally found something that can actually grow here that isn't soy, and more soy. Dad, pixie beans are dangerous! You've dreamed about these beans. They make people act all funny, then they get sick. Your dad laughs. Someone's been reading way too many weird holo novels before bed, Yabby, he says, ruffling your hair. Don't worry about it, my little tomato. I've been studying them since we landed, including eating them. He gestures broadly to himself. Look at me, I'm in great health. You collapsed yesterday, Dad. Oh, what is it with no one believing you? Just because they're dreams doesn't mean they're not real. Your dad is acting pretty strange, but Maybe it's just the Shimmer brain? You remember the Pixie Beans mostly affected teenagers. Oh, you wish you could remember more. You know I wouldn't lie. I don't like them either, your mom cuts in. I agree we should be trying to cultivate native crops, but something just feels off about these ones. She shudders. I can't stomach the idea of eating something that glows in the dark. Who knows what that's doing to our bodies? Your dad sighs. Outvoted, huh? He says, even though your mom's vote is the only one that counts. Your mom takes your father's hand and looks him in the eyes. Thank you for not forcing me to pole rank, she says quietly. We should still grow them, but I'm not ready to put all our resources behind them just yet. Your dad agrees. The fields will be sowed with earth crops this year. You can't exactly remember the details, but you think it's going to help. Whew, okay, that's 2 things out of the way. Well, not 2 things. We did the Pixie Beans, but we still gotta go to engineering and take care of Shimmer. I'm talking really fast. Mars is at 27, 23, 24, 28, 25. Ooh, Tang, hello. Oh, your holopalm pulses with a message from Tang. Hello, Yabby. If you're not occupied, could I ask for your assistance in the lab? Thank you in advance, Tangent. Typical Tang, but her asking for help is something so rare that you can't help but head over right away. You find her hunched over a spectrometer, making notes on a holo screen. Oh, you're here, she says, blinking rapidly. She looks like she's been awake for days, wrinkled, a little shiny, and with a wild-eyed look of someone who needs a cup of blep tea. I came as soon as I could. I'm researching the Shimmer, the respiratory illness that some people report during pollen, she says. I'm loath to admit it, but I need your assistance. She takes 4 vials with swabs inside and puts them into your hand. I need recent saliva samples from both you and your father, she says. There must be a reason why he's so susceptible to Shimmer and you're not. You share half your genetic code with him. There must be some marker we can compare between the 2 samples. Then, she continues, pulling another vial from a rack of test tubes, administer this to yourselves, wait 3 days, then take the samples again. The test should be able to determine if anything in your body chemistry has changed. Tang looks at you seriously, cutting through her bleary expression. There's something going on here, she whispers. Something really, really big. I've begun to realize this is about more than just curing a disease. She squeezes your hand so hard it almost hurts. Unlocking the secrets of Shimmer, who affects it all, and why, it could lead to a greater understanding of all life on Vertumna. And knowledge. Knowledge is power, Yabby. It's control. Okay, I'll do it. Thank you, Tang says. I've been researching so hard, I think my eyes are going to fall out of my head. And for what? Well, for the end of a debilitating disease is a pretty good reason, but Tang just shakes her head at herself before you can answer. We're just at a disadvantage here, she mutters. We're fighting blind. We need to understand this planet if we're going to get it under our control. How about we don't do that, and we live in harmony with the planet, Tang? Hang on, I'm gonna cure Shimmer real quick, all on my own. Humanities might be good. I could always do with more creativity, but I could also really do with some biology. Alright. Oh! Tangent stops you on the way to class. Yabby, were you heading to life sciences? Good, I could use your help with something, actually. I'm working with Chief Engineer Instance in the biolab. If you could give me a hand with it, I'm sure she'll give you credit for the class. Of course I'll help! Honestly, admits Tang, we just need somebody to label petri dishes and move them from the cooler to different machines. A Hop Eye could do it. Well, luckily Hop Pop is with me. Instance is staring unfocused at her hollow eye as she processes the results of the scans. Tang goes and stands beside her, pulling up the scan on her own holopalm. They confer quietly while you wait. Sounds like they are studying the Shimmer, the mysterious illness some colonists get during pollen every year, including your dad. Instance looks up at you, as if just noticing your existence. Ah, Yabby, she says. We've been studying samples of some of the colonists who get sick during pollen, including your dad. Some of the stuff in his lungs. It's some kind of fungus. We think the Shimmer is a form of reproduction, Tang explains. It's like a fungus trying to turn us into more fungus like it. It's really neat, actually. Yeah, neat! You spend the rest of the week helping them study the illness. Mostly this involves following instructions and doing, as Tang loves to repeat, jobs a Hop Eye could do. Nothing beats hands-on experience, though. This would be easier if we had an actual sample of the fungus, Instance remarks. They're working with some biological samples, a fancy word for snot, but according to them, the fungus is all mixed up in the human cells. Instance has to spend a lot more time in vert space trying to disconnect the two in her models. How close are we to a cure? It's impossible to say, Instance replies. This isn't like a game under a holo video, displaying quantifiable progress towards your goal. The truth is not so easily known. You take that to mean she doesn't have any idea. but I do! Tangent and Chief Engineer Instance have been hard at work in the lab trying to find a cure for the Shimmer disease. You've come to realize you remember how to cure the Shimmer. You can't tell them it's from your dreams, but you know them from the nightmares of fungal topiaries, and you know the cure. You think you do anyway. Subtly guide them to the cure. You offer help and nudge their research in the right direction. Due to what looks like a series of happy accidents, you achieve a breakthrough in a matter of weeks that would have taken years. Sunlight! You try inoculations, antibiotics, antifungal creams, but what finally works is a high-intensity light treatment, mimicking the full force of the suns during dusk, coupled with an injection to increase its potency. Of course, Tang exclaims. The fungus colonizes animal life during pollen, and some succumb to it, but the intense light of dusk scourges the fungus from the survivors. It's all part of the natural cycle. The treatment works on samples, now to test it on a subject. You know it works, test it on yourself. You already know the treatment works and is safe, but you have to test it on someone to prove it. At least this way you look like a badass. You open a triple-locked research room and pass through an airlock. You don't have your envirosuit on, but that's the point. You need a strong dose of this fungus in your lungs. The small room is filled with the Shimmer fungus. It's growing on everything, the floors and walls, and on lumpy shapes that were some kind of biological matter once. Now it's all just fungus, violet and shiny. You breathe deeply, marveling in the feeling of soupy, dangerous air infiltrating your body. Tang watches safely from behind thick plexiglass. You can't tell if she's jealous or impressed. Next, you slide into the light therapy machine to bask in the nice warm light for a while. You even have a nap. Dr. Instance takes your vitals and runs samples of your fluid through various machines. She's excruciatingly thorough, but after a few days she concludes that the treatment is a success. You still carry a high fungal load, but its effects have been nullified by the light therapy. Remarkable, Instance says, going over your findings. Now that we have a frontline therapy, we can begin treating the population to prevent the fungus from taking hold. She looks over at Tang. Yabby's discovery will be great help with our other research. You expect Tangent might be cross that you got the credit, but she nods, looking pleased. I won't let you start a plague this time, Tangent. You're just thankful that no one else was killed, not your father or anyone else. The colony is safe from Shimmer. We did it! Oh my god, everyone stop talking to me! I've been stopped like 5 times! Yabby, can you come see me in class? Professor Howell pulls you aside in the hall, congruent sliding along beside him. You follow him cautiously. Don't worry, he smiles. You're not in trouble. Far from it, in fact. He grabs your hand and shakes it firmly. I've never thanked you for, well, saving my life, he chuckles. Professor Howell and I are grateful for your bravery, Congruent says. Though you should have been in the creche. Just this once. It is good you've disobeyed orders. Oh, it was nothing. Hal winks. Good thing you were helping me in the classroom when the attack started, right? He laughs and leans back against his desk, inadvertently sitting on something that pops and gives off a shower of acid-smelling sparks. Whoops, he says, leaping away from his desk. Danger lurks everywhere, Yabby. Keep your head on a swivel. I will. I'll watch out for sparking whoopee cushions. Don't worry, sir. Alright, and after all that, 30! Yes! Tangent is already done! Alright, we'll have enough energy for one more thing. Unless I buy a cake and— oh! What's up? Hello, my little tomato. Your dad's voice rings out across the fields, hale and hearty. You don't have it in you to be embarrassed, not during pollen, not with the memory of him struggling to breathe so fresh in your mind. Are you coming to check on your old man? He teases you. He takes a deep breath, holds it in, and lets it all out comfortably. I'm doing great. No congestion, no sneezing, and I definitely don't want to take a hike outside the walls. Your dad pulls you into a big hug, ruffling your hair. He smells like sunshine and dirt and sweat, and you've never been happier to breathe it all in. He's alive. I'm proud of you, he says quietly. You can pull off miracles, kiddo. Oh god, I never even thought about that. He mentions that he doesn't want to go outside. I never thought about the fact that maybe the reason he wanted to walk outside the colony so much was because he was trying to leave and walk out, like all the other animals do. It's kind of crazy to think about. Can't believe I never thought of that. Alright, well, we're gonna need to relax. Maybe I should relax this month, and then next month we can explore and then get some of that energy back for after Virtunalia. That seems like a good idea, because this is probably where I'm gonna end it anyway, so let's see. Yeah, we're gonna relax. And this will get us friendship with Tammy! You look around the lounge. Some friends are here. Who do you hang out with? Tangent's already all the way up. Cal, one more gift ought to bring him up to full. But Anemone definitely needs some friendship.
Hey, friendo, Nemi says. I was just gonna get out of here, but you could come with me. I'm gonna play some sports ball.
So much for relaxing. Nemi grabs you by the arm and marches you up to the sports ball pitch, where she strikes up a game of sports ball that is not strictly regulation. You make up your own rules, even roping her 3 younger brothers into playing. They're young and they kind of suck at this stuff, but it's still fun. Nice. And I'm gonna get rid of that. Drop that shit. I don't need it. Alright, let's see how we're looking. Halfway through the year. 26, 28, 30, 28, 27, 26. We're doing good. I bet by the end of this year we'll have everyone's friendship all the way up. I'm thinking we could probably either try and do the talent show, although I don't think we have enough creativity for that. But either way, I could probably get these guys up on their own. As for Tammy, Anemone, and Cal, I could probably do the bot wrestling with Anemone and Cal, and then Tammy we can worry about later. I could get her some gifts. Especially now that it's dusk, I might be able to find some flowers. We'll see, we'll get them all to 30. But we've done the important stuff this year. We got rid of Shimmer, and we stopped the Pixie beans. The only thing I can really think of that we need to do this year, which we'll do next time, is to get our Vricky. I do want to try and get all the pets if we can. I don't know if we'll be able to, but we can try. It's just we have a lot of stuff to do and a lot of friendships to raise, so I don't know how much time I'll be able to spend in robotics. I don't even have that much engineering yet. We'll worry about it later. Right now we'll focus on what's important, which is doing all of our milestones. We're doing very good. I'm very proud of us. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself. Be careful not to get accosted by several hundred of people in the engineering building, and have a good day.